Hey guys, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I could sneeze a lot today. Firstly, welcome to the month of August, a new month. And this month happens to be very special to me because now this month my parents decide to give birth to me. So I have a lot of things I want to dive in today, some of the eventualities that have been happening and some that I think we need to start paying really attention to. And one, we will just go straight to Trump tells Putin one more week or else, as both men feud hit all-time high. See, in recent times you don't see the issue between Trump and Putin, because Trump thought that as soon as he gets into the office, one of his plan or one of the things he needed to do was to put end to the wars in the one happening in Ukraine and also the one happening in Gaza. So, but I think he has done about 6 months in office and he has not been able to figure out a solution. And in recent times we've seen that he has tried to reach out to Putin to hit an agreement or drop an agreement on ceasefire, but none of this have been working. And because of that, Trump done the verse, and Trump is very angry with Putin. And we'll just talk about it. We'll dive straightly into some of those things. Secondly, Peter Obi, Ajaero planning to break into Asorock, overthrow Tinubu, says Labour Party Secretary Vladamir Arabambi. So this, although I know that this is a propaganda, and many of us also know that this is just one of the cook-up stories that they need to push out to sway us into believing some things we're not supposed to believe, and sway us into seeing the things or pay attention to things when they really happen, and the kind of policies and the things what they do when they really show say they don't really care about us, which is the truth about what is happening right now, especially in this administration. And also there's something I want to talk about relating to this story, so we'll dive into it also. Olukemi Ajaero, the first black woman to lead the Conservative Party in UK, says she no longer identifies as Nigerian. I remember one time I wanted to do the segment about her when she was criticizing the Nigerian government and Nigerians also, but this time she says she no longer identifies as Nigerians. And we know that these are political moves. These are moves made by politicians who want to do everything possible to achieve their personal aspirations, to achieve their goals which they've set for themselves, and they don't mind if it means it will affect whatsoever thing that lay out to be very important to them, especially when it is their right or something that they identify with. They will go to any length possible to get and achieve their personal aspirations. We'll talk about it. Okay, I also want to talk about happening in Edo State now. We saw the kidnapping. There's a very disturbing video I came across, and I just needed to talk about it because it happened in Edo State. And a man was seen in the video. I will show you the video. A man was seen in the video holding a skull, begging his family to pay the ransom. Otherwise, this human skull when they hold in your own head goes also be a skull when somebody else go hold. So this just tell about the insecurity in Edo State. So we'll talk about that also. And also we end today's episode with the recent eventualities happening in Ghana. Nigerians must go, cries Ghanaians. Ghanaians have been protesting all around Ghana. They've been protesting that they want Nigerians to leave. See, I have my take on this, and I have to be very sincere with you from everything I have seen, because you could tell that protest was staged. It was a staged protest, and I will tell you the characteristics of a staged protest and why I feel that the government are the one behind this protest. Now the Ghanaian government, now they sponsor the protest. So we'll talk about this, and let's just dive into it. Welcome to the Testament Podcast.
Instead of be sleep, let it be hate, let it degrade, let it be deep. Some others should weep, some others should keep the memory of the way that I died. Maybe.
Okay, subscribe. I will always say that. Subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms. Do it to share, and just see us with fit help us more grow. Okay, let's just dive straightly into the first thing I want to talk about today. The Trump warning and Trump threats to Putin, how Putin has also responded. The reasons why we need to pay attention to the things happening around the world, not just only in Nigeria, it's because of how they shape us and how the decisions of these world leaders will determine how we move ahead. Because if the country there, if the world there at war, it means Nigeria there at war, whether I like it or not. And if there's a world war tomorrow, Nigeria will have to take a side. Nobody knows where Nigeria will belong because of all the things that they happen here, what they happen for you, what they happen for you, what they happen for you. We need to pay attention to that. Now, going back to what is happening, Trump sent two U.S. nuclear submarine close to Russia, and because he's angry and said no, that this ceasefire, he has given the Russia 1 week, that once they see this 1 week, he's going to take some decisions. Nobody knows the decision Trump is going to take. And we also know about, from all the event that has been happening, the war between Ukraine and Russia, we've seen how Putin is determined to get a win. Putin not really mind the number of Russians when die, or the number of things when it go affect the Russians, because the Russians, they suffer from more than 500 sanctions. They look all that into playing to the game. His own is Russia must win. And there's a reason why he backs that, or he believes that, which we cannot talk more about today, because that one are just on episode on its own. Then the thing is, if you look from Putin's point of view, why he needed to fight the war, it was to protect the motherland, Russia. He believed that there's an agreement after the Soviet Union collapsed, and the agreement was in NATO that the NATO will not spread to the east. That the NATO will not spread to the east, but we don't see that over time NATO take other European countries to join NATO, to form alliance. And Putin they say, okay, once the NATO they expand and they closer to their border, it will not be easy for the NATO to attack whenever they want to. So Putin kicks against that, and Ukraine was really wanting to join the NATO for defense purposes. And the funny thing about Ukraine and Russia is they did like our parents won't get twin, just like Peter and Paul. Because if you look down deep into their history, you'll say now from one woman they come from. They speak the same language, the same culture, everything about Ukraine and Russia, not the same thing. In short, more than if not half of Ukraine speaks Russia. A majority of the scientists, when really make Soviet Union was known about all around the world, became a strong force, were scientists from Ukraine, as in present-day Ukraine. That's how close they were. So this is one of the reasons why Putin went to war with Ukraine. And Putin thought that him being the president and his relationship he had with Putin in his first tenure would make him be able to achieve the ceasefire, but it never happened. And Putin has responded. Putin has responded to these two submarines. Okay, let me just stop for now and show you some video. Watch these videos.
Warning to Russia, President Trump ordering 2 U.S. nuclear submarines to the region.
A threat was made, and we didn't think it was appropriate, so I have to be very careful. So I do that on the basis of safety for our people.
That threat Trump was talking about, a post on social media from the former Russian president about unleashing Russia's nuclear arsenal. Trump saying he repositioned the submarines just in case these foolish and inflammatory statements are more than just that, adding words can often lead to
Okay, and Putin also responded by deploying a Russian nuclear warheads to Belarus, precisely the Orishnik missile. The Orishnik missile was used last year November in Ukraine, and I just wanted to see the Orishnik missiles. I just wanted to see how it is. What?
Now, the new Orishnik hypersonic system tested in Ukraine will be deployed in Belarus. In essence, it now sits on NATO's doorstep.
The funny thing about the nuclear war is when it happens, everybody wants to win. And if everybody wants to win, I need to give my all to expect to win. And I don't say over time, from books when I don't still read and from people in those analyze that if there's a nuclear war between Russia and the US, which happens to hold a total number of 11,000 nuclear warheads, there is a nuclear war between Russia and the US, that 70% of the world's civilization will be destroyed, that humanity will go back to the Stone Age, and those who will remain will suffer severely from the aftermath of the nuclear war. And nobody knows where this 1 week deadline when Trump don't give Putin, where they lead us to. It is a very terrifying time. It is a very troubling time. It is a time that we have to start paying attention to things happening around us. Not just things. We are so much carried away with things happening in Nigeria. There are a lot of things happening around the world that if you pair them to the way the Bible gives a description of how the world is going to end, you'll see everything just fall in the right places. Everything just drop in the right places. Like there will be rumors of war, there will be this, there will be this, there will be this happening. And now wait till just they happen. And it tells that even if you don't want to believe that the world is going to end, if you listen to scientists recently, if you listen to people who go to school a lot, when they read books, their analysis when they give with the recent events when they happen, the globalization, the push for wokeness, the push of so many things when they happen, inclusiveness, the push of equality, feminism, the push of toxic masculinity, and everything, the push of things when they happen around the world. Then if you watch all these things, they say that they fear that man will soon destroy itself. And if you look at the advancement of AI, I talked about the danger of AI in my previous episode. If you look close to into the advancement of AI, you'll be shocked at what is happening right now. You'll be shocked at. See, I deal with a group of persons some weeks ago, and someone brought out his phone, was showing me something, and I was just so engrossed in that thing. I said, okay, Alpha, put me through, make I see what they really do. Like, it was surprising that AI could generate what it was showing me to do what it was doing. I just saw it because I was so engrossed to it. I took my time to really study what it was. But so I went back home and I discovered that anytime I pick up my phone, the advert that plays whenever I open any app happens to be the video I watched from the other person's phone. And the only connection between this person's phone and my phone is the person has my phone number. That is the connection. But you see the ability for the phone to take just that information, which is my phone, which happens to be the connection between these two phones, and give me a replica of what I have seen. Just to tell you, it be like say they read my mind. And I can tell you this is not this. I have to pay attention to it. 98%, not 98%, 99% of the adverts that plays out whenever I watch a video online, or watch or click on an app, or click on anything that always plays ads, I see that 99% of such ads are based on the video I watched on the other phone. Just imagine 5 years to now, span them up, scale them up, may you see what will go happen. And we see how AI they function in the warfare already. That nowadays now people just sit in a particular place and send drones. That now determines that what determines your successfulness in your war is based on how sophisticated your weapon is, based on your technology, based on how you feel used. It's just imagine the kind of nuclear weapons when this country gets. Not be nuclear weapon when they use for Japan, not be that kind of TNT. Imagine this is 15 to 20 megatons of TNT. That I think I read something somewhere that is a bomb. I don't know whether owns by a nuclear weapon owns by Russia, nuclear owns by Russia. It detonates, it's going to destroy the whole of Africa. A full continent go destroy. Just the impact of such. And Putin's response was to send the Orishnik missile, the ICBM, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, to Belarus. Go and call out for them at the point that if anything happen, And they said the Russia have what they call something like the dead button. That means even if US take them unaware, the dead button is even if US takes the Russia unaware by releasing all their nuclear warheads directly to Russia, and Russia could not be able to retaliate immediately, that even if you destroy her, that automatically this dead button will trigger and all Russia's nuclear warheads we launched at the same time to every part of the world, not just to the US, but to Africa, every part of the world, meaning that if I'm going down, everyone is going down. See, it's very terrifying at the kind of things when they happen. It's crazy because we are so carried away with so many other things that will not they pay attention to so many things when they're very, very important to us. And these Orishnik missiles, if it is launched, can get to any part of Europe in 17 minutes. In 17 minutes, this missile can... I know the talk say Russia gets the most sophisticated weapon. But if we look in 3 years, what has happened between Ukraine and Russia, you see that not be really Ukraine the fight, it's a proxy war. Ukraine not be really the one to fight. All weapons used for the war are foreign weapons. France, Germany, Turkey, even South Africa, US, Canada, UK, all of them don't send weapons, missiles, ammunition, personnel to Ukraine. So it's a proxy war. It's like you stay for front, we will support you for back. So Russia is not just fighting Ukraine, it's fighting the whole of NATO. And they've been able to sustain and grow economically. They've been growing economically, fighting war. You should know that these people are, Russia not be people you just play with a left hand, say no, this country don't know themselves. The F-35, the F-15 jets, the US jet, when they use presently, the F-15s, the F-35, which of the weapons will not they there? Let's not just, I don't want to dwell too much on this. Let's go over to Peter Obi and Ajaero plans to break Asorock, overthrown Tinubu, says Labour Party, Adeyemi, Arabambi. If I were to be Peter Obi, this is what I would do. This is what I think would favor me. Knowing full well that I have a movement, an obedient movement that practically is made up of young, energetic Nigerians who want change, Nigerians who are ready to give their all, go all out to get change. I will use the enthusiastic nature of those Nigerians and use it to form my own party. Why you define platform when just your movement can give you platform? It's not all about the numbers, because the truth is, in recent times, if you've checked the election, you discover say the electoral process these days you don't feed away from the one they operate those days, when now they capitalize more on money, which I know is definitely going to play a major role when it comes to election. But the eyes of the young don't they open. The average Nigeria population is 18 years. It means 73% of Nigeria population averagely is 18. Meaning that the major populations of Nigeria now waiting youth. And if that happens to be, what do you think about in terms of information, exposure? You discover say 60 or 70% of these Nigerian youths are exposed as a result of the internet. That's one of the beauty of the internet. You don't give them information to really see things and hear other people's opinions about what they happen. And with all these other people's opinions, they don't feel until draw out conclusions on what they need to do and how they need to pattern their life. So Peter Obi can capitalize on that, knowing that 98% of obedient movement are Nigerian youth. Create your own platform. You want to form a coalition with ADC. PDP is calling you back. This one is drawing you out. You cannot call out men when really want to come out for you. The youth. Form a platform. Register a platform. Register a party. Set up a party. Because the truth is, one of the reasons, this can tell us greatly, one of the reasons that Peter Obi did not win the 2023 election or did not get the vote was a lot of betrayers in his party. You see how the Labour Party chairman betrayed. You see how now for the secretary of the Labour Party, a former party, that the reason why the Labour Party is everywhere is because of Peter Obi. We cannot rule that out. Peter Obi now make Labour Party give voice for federal level. Who know them before the federal level? Can they stand? Yeah, at least, or maybe okay in a state level, or maybe one or two states. In the federal level, Labour Party now nobody now. For Labour Party to get mouth now is because of Peter Obi. So for this secretary to come out, you know say they don't unveil their true color. And one of the reasons Peter Obi had a lot of shortcomings was because of the people he worked with. They were betrayers. They were people who had interests, who were easily bought. There are people who, when they give them money, they give them like fish for nose. They run, betray them, say they are right. Because they don't really believe in Nigerianism. They don't really believe in Nigeria. They don't want me Nigerian good. They don't have plans for you and me. They don't want us to succeed. So they don't mind. It's just the highest bidder. The one that pays more, I go. That is the reason why I see cross-carpeting, cross-party, they happen every now and then. Because what they believe in, who go favor me pass? Is it this party or this party? Where will I have more benefit? That is all they care about. They don't care about you becoming successful. They don't care about you having a headway. They don't care about, and they don't believe in this country. That is the reason why majority of them carry, not majority, all of them takes their children out of the system. They don't believe in us. Because what you believe in, you go stand strong for them. So they don't believe in us. Olukemi Ajaero, the first black woman to lead the Conservative Party in UK, says she no longer identifies as Nigerian. I knew that this woman, I don't want to talk too much about this woman because I know all these things are just based on I need to do all of these if I really want to push my career further. That be the most. These are Nigerians. See, if this woman get this kind of motive, if this woman get this kind of drive, if this woman get this kind of push, if this woman feel do this kind of thing, to drop her identity, because your identity as a Nigerian not be based on say you come Nigeria, come reside. Your identity as a Nigerian are based on say your papa, your mama are Nigerians. This lady, father and mother are Nigerians, not Nigerians that were born in the UK and came to Nigeria to live. They were Nigerians that were born in Nigeria by Nigerian's father and gave birth to this lady. I was born in the 80s. I had to go back and check, okay, in the 80s, what is the value of the US dollar to Nigeria dollar? From the 1973 to 1983, Nigerian naira was way better than the US dollar. So if in this time Nigeria naira they do well than the US dollar, that means the economy was in good shape. Even if the economy had issues, the economy at that time was in good shape. And you were born at this time when Nigerians that were born at this time had opportunities to travel to anywhere in the world. They don't go through any process when Nigerians they suffer to get passport to go country when not good past Nigerians. Go past Nigeria. And you they say you suffer. I went to her Wikipedia to see what she wrote about herself and discovered that she has done everything possible to remove everything that draws or attach her or that magnet her to Nigeria. That the only thing where she not feel erased now just her name. Maybe she liked the name KEMI, but every other thing, there's no. If you check her education, you not see a place where she say, okay, I went to Source Primary School, because she lived the 16 years of her childhood in Nigeria. So someone who lives 16 years of your childhood in Nigeria, you want to tell me say you don't know anything about Nigeria? It means you did primary and secondary school in Nigeria and you were born in the UK. Now if you watch the way she was born in the UK, now those kind of medical trip when parents they go do for abroad so that the pikin go get passport, because then, let me tell you why she's a fraudulent individual. Because then, at that time, in the 80s, Nigeria with just Nigeria passport, or if you are born in the UK at that time, you automatically get this passport. You just like the US, this birth citizenship when Donald Trump tried to come out. It was in the 80s, it was there. She benefited, she was one of the people who benefited from that. As a born in the UK, she became a UK citizen before the UK government stopped that. So she benefited, she's an opportunist. She is an opportunist and she wants to do everything possible because she want reach where the other things she want add to her accolades, the other things she want to join her profile. So she refuse say this my identity with Nigeria will draw me backward, will make me not get to this height politically. I have to cut it off, and she wants to do everything possible to achieve that. What did she say? Say she suffer, she dey fetch water in the 80s. You call yourself a middle class. You that have vacated in the US. You that get many things to talk. I cannot talk about only that woman. Happening in Edo State, Kidnappers forced man to hold a human skull as he plead to be saved, or else his skull will be the next on display. I know some time ago, roughly a week plus ago, that should be a week plus ago, a week ago, that Modio Pegolo was, the Edo State governor, was trending when he threatens that Peter Obi shouldn't come to Edo State, and if he wants to come anytime, whenever, he should take permission from him. I wanted to do a series on that, an episode on that, but I just said no, not day of so much importance. Now, what I want to talk about is, man, let's be factual and be true to ourselves. In the South, Edo State happens to be the major going through insecurity challenges in Nigeria, if not just the only state. The height of banditry, height of kidnapping, the height of armed robbery, theft, cultism, everything are in Edo State. All of this is in Edo State. Edo State, one of the challenges of Edo State is insecurity. Insecurity happens to be one of the major challenges in Edo State. Like if you could remember some months ago how vigilante in the northern part of Edo State had to kill some individuals who they thought were Fulani herdsmen. Why were they able to do that, or why did they have such intention to do such? Was because of what they might have been experiencing. Issues relating to Fulani herdsmen, issues relating to kidnapping and banditry in their community that would have made them to prepare themselves as, okay, now anybody who wants to see dressed like this or do like this will kill the person because such person. Now then they put us for the mess, or put us for the pressure and the pain and the death when they suffer. It means insecurity is a major challenge in Edo State. And the Edo State governor, not they fix this issue. They dwell on this and see